So if I'm running a company, how much money should I invest into like these kinds of trainings, and what is the most effective type of trainings? Let's start with the finances because business is all about money, of course. So yearly budget. I know it's going to depend on the industry in the type of company and like whoever is providing this cybersecurity. But let's hypothetical numbers here. $10 million yearly budget. How much of that money should be invested into cybersecurity? And let's say they are a fintech company, medium sized.
These bad actors, they have a job and responsibility that were given to them. And not only that, they have target audience. They have special, some of them specialize in fintech, some of them specialize in biotech, all right? Some of them specialize in government agencies. So they have specialties. Now, how much do you want to spend on it? It's not a matter of throwing money at it. It's a matter of getting the right people that know what they're doing and actively test your network and look for threats. And one of the key things we're talking about is threat hunting. I'll keep on saying it again. It's not antivirus and sit back, reactive. You want to be proactive. You want to assume something is in your network, okay? You want to be able to test your network and say, okay, if there's a breach, how do I recover? How do I respond? What's going to happen? These are the steps that need to be taken. And the first thing you need to have in place is what? Policy. Okay, before I answer the question about money, and I'll get to it in a second, policy drives security today. It drives cybersecurity. The best and easiest analogy for you is go down to any of the fast food chains, whether it's Burger King, McDonald's, or what have you, right? If you notice that after taking that order of yours, they read it back to you, okay? And they tell you how much it is. And they ask you again, do you want to, what do you call it, have a bigger order of your what do you call it, of your fries? They want to upsell you. There's a reason for that, okay? If they upsell about 1 million people a day,
yeah.
If they upsell about 1 million people a day, that's about, $1 million right there,
yeah.
Okay? Now, there's a reason why when you go to those fast food shops and stores, and the reason I'm saying is that they have a process, procedure, and policies in place. And all the employees of the street needs to follow that process, procedure, and policy. When they're done, as soon as you get the total for your order, they tell you to drive to the next window. They didn't say drive up, go down to the next window, specifically next window. Now you begin to understand why, before you actually talk about money, you need to find out what do I have? So the US government and the federal government has come up with what they call NIST CSF 2.0. The first thing that's in there is, again, about C-level governance. Let us decide that we don't want data breach. Let us decide that we have zero tolerance for any kind of breach. Let us decide we're going to do something about it and make sure that we instill a culture of, data security, cybersecurity. So the first thing you do as a company is write policies, employee use policy, okay? And you have people that are going to have VPN to the office because they're working remotely. So the VPN will delineate the traffic of home and work, so that whatever is happening at home, because you know that your 16-year-old is downloading everything under the sun, and something is crawling through your network, you don't see that, but they don't care about your network. They just want to use that third-party breach to hop onto a network. And that's what is happening. So you have to understand that and write policies to deal with employee use policy, laptop use policy. If you travel out of the country, go down to some unfriendly states, make sure that your laptop, when it comes back, before you use it, you sanitize it, things like that, okay? Email use policy. Your personal laptop is not anything personal, it's your company's information. Make sure you don't just have antivirus and forget about have a threat hunting tool inside it. Make sure that users don't have the ability to install software, so that when they click on something they're not supposed to click on, that software doesn't get installed unless they have administrative rights to install it. This little thing starts adding up real fast. And you can see that I haven't even mentioned money at all right? It's a policy to put in place to safeguard users, because users are the weakest link. They don't care about security. They just want to do their job. That's not their role.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My company gets hacked. It's not my. It's not my butt on the line, right? It's not even my job on the line. It's a simple mistake. I didn't know. I'm not an expert in this kind of thing. That's what an employee could be thinking, of course.
Yes, but when you instill cybersecurity into them, they get training. If they did something really stupid, hey, make sure they raise up the right hand and call IT. Guys, I did something. I don't know what it is, but I just did something. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody's gonna chop your hand off.
Yeah.
Go fix it.
Yeah, they want you. They want you to come to them to be like,
yes,
They like, listen. Part of that policy, to be like, and part of the training is, listen, you're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get reprimanded for making a mistake and being fooled by someone whose job it is to fool you.
Yeah,
right?
it's a full-time job. It's a profession. That's your job, to understand human behavior so they can rob you.
Exactly.
That's your job. So to answer that question, don't spend $100 to secure a $1,000 infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spend $1 million to secure a 100,000 network. Okay, so some companies spend as high as 8%.
8%. 8%?
Yeah.
Okay.
8% of their, what they call it, annual revenue. It depends on the kind of network they have. You have biotech that sometimes they want to make sure that the infrastructure they have is not in the cloud because of what they call it, intellectual properties. Some don't worry too much about it, like manufacturing. They want to have applications in the cloud and put their Jira software in the cloud. Then you have, small companies that really want to make sure that everybody has access to the cloud-based infrastructure instead of having on-premises servers to save files. They want to be able to use things like Office 365 SharePoint as their, file sharing resource, or Google Business and things of that nature. So the training comes in handy. The recovery and backup becomes more important because that's part of your business continuity. So you need to have a policy in place for your business continuity.